Ear, noun, 1. Countable, either of the organs on the sides of the head that you hear with. An ear infection. The inner, outer ear. She whispered something in his ear. He put his hands over his ears. She's had her ears pierced. The elephant flapped its ears. He was always there with a sympathetic ear, a willingness to listen to people. See also cauliflower ear, glue ear, middle ear, serrated antlers, body parts, face. 2. Eared, in adjectives, having the type of ears mentioned. A long-eared owl. 3. Singular, an ability to recognize and copy sounds well. She has always had an ear for languages. You need a good ear to master the piano. 4. Countable, the top part of a grain plant, such as wheat, that contains the seeds. Ears of corn. Serrated antlers. Crops. Extra examples. We were talking about you last night. I thought my ears were burning. A blast of punk rock music assaulted her ears. A horse may show annoyance by putting its ears back. A small noise caught his ear. At first, I stopped my ears to what I did not want to hear. Blood from his torn ear was soaking his color. Chinese music uses a scale that is unfamiliar to Western ears. Christopher felt his ears reddening. Come on, tell me, I'm all ears. Dogs can hear things that human ears can't hear. Drop a quiet word in her ear about it before it's too late. Each animal receives an individual ear tag. Even if my fears were silly, he always had an open ear. He arrived home hungry, and the noise from the kitchen was music to his ears. He could hear much better after having his ears cleaned out. He had 3 ear piercings. He has a good ear for accents and can usually tell where a speaker comes from. He has a keen ear for dialogue. He has really big ears that stick out. He listened to her with only half an ear as he watched TV. He plugged his ears to drown out the music. He plugged his ears with tissue paper to drown out the music. He pressed his ear to the door, but heard nothing. He waited in the darkness, his ears alert for the slightest sound. He always willing to lend an ear. He was beaming from ear to ear. He went home with the teacher's warning ringing in his ears. Her ears listened expectantly. His ears pricked up when he heard his name mentioned. His sharp ears had picked up the uncertainty in her voice. I have a few words for your ears alone. I knew that my words were going in one ear and out the other. I strained my ears to catch the conversation in the other room. I'll keep my ears open for a second-hand bike for you. I'm sorry for talking your ear off. I've just had my ears pierced, so I'm going to buy some earrings. If news of the break-in reaches the boss's ears, we're in trouble. If you suck a sweet as the plane takes off, it stops your ears popping. In the silence, everyone seemed to be aware of listening ears. It takes time to attune your ear to the local accent. My heart was pounding in my ears. She actually apologized. I couldn't believe my ears. She always provided a sympathetic ear for students with problems. She bent my ear about it for 3 days. She couldn't see, but her ears told her that the girls had arrived. She did not like the plan, as she made clear every time she found a receptive ear, somebody willing to listen. She did not like the scheme, as she made clear every time she found a receptive ear. She has a thin ear for melody. She nibbled on his ear. She put her hands over her ears to block out what he was saying. She put on her ear muffs and went out into the snow. She stood outside the room, her ears straining to hear what they were saying. She usually plays the guitar by ear, rather than reading the music. Some of the words used in 18th century writing sound strange to modern ears. The dog pricked up its ears. The explosion set my ears ringing and even made me jump a bit. The horse lifted its head and flicked its ears. The music was so loud I had to cover my ears. The music was so loud that it hurt my ears. The sound of the blast filled my ears. The teacher turned a deaf ear to the boys' requests, ignored them. The teacher turned a deaf ear to the boys' swearing. The voices buzzing all around echoed in her ears. Their complaints about the poor service fell on deaf ears. This was the woman who had the ear of the president. To the trained ear, the chords of these birds sound quite different. When the notes are played so close together, the ear hears no space between them. A rabbit with long flappy ears